Good evening, Husky fans. We're here in Canistota as the boys basketball team takes on the Canistota Hawks. We'll take a quick break here and hear a word from our sponsors. We want to take a minute to thank those who make this filming possible. You're watching EPJ boys basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
All the best sports shows. Never miss out on the action.
Quality care close to home. That's Horizon Healthcare in Elk Point. For immunizations and well child visits to family health, we're right here for all ages with convenient hours and timely appointments. Local care for you and your family makes life easier with less travel, greater personal attention, and overall wellness for life. That's Horizon Healthcare's Elk Point Community Health Center.
We are going to announce the cheerleaders for Canistota. Caitlin Engbarth, Kira Esser, Ella Germstead, Marin Horschelman, Abigail Keller, Nevaeh Montgomery, Amelia Remical, and Brooke Cheddar. Cheer coach is April Marquardt. And we will get going with our starting lineups for the Huskies. Number 3, senior Garrett Merkley. Number 10, Carson Timmons, a senior this year at guard. Caden Moore, a senior this year, number 22 at guard. Number 30, Reed Saylor, a senior this year at forward. And number 33, Evan Fournier, a senior at forward. For the Canistota Hawks, their starting lineup. Number 3, Levi Schroeder, a junior this year at forward. Tage Ortman, a senior at guard. Number 22, Jackson Brown, a senior at forward and center. Number 30, Brady Scott, a junior this year at guard. And 54, Brandon Jetland, a senior at center. Huskies are coached by Jake Otkin and assisted by Zach Ronning. And your Canistota Hawks are coached by Pat Jolly and assisted by Doug Siebert and Sharon Marquardt. Starting here with the tip-off, we have Fornia and that tip's going to go to Tage Ortman. Ortman with the 3 attempt, and that's going to be no good. Captured back there by Merkley. Merkley drives it up and passes it over to Saylor. That's going to be knocked out by Ortman. The Huskies ball on the sideline as Caden Moore inbounds for the Huskies. Merkley and Moore toss it back and forth. Moore with the ball, looking for a pass. It's going to go over to Saylor. Saylor to Fornia underneath the net there. An attempt for the layup, and that's going to roll in for 2. Scott with the ball, tosses it off to Ortman. Ortman looking to get around Saylor. Passes it off to Scott. Scott looking to get in at the top of the key. Guarded there by Fornia. Passes it off to Jetland. Jetland tosses it over back to Ortman. Drives in for the layup and the hook shot, and that's going to be no good. Rebounded there and tossed off by Brown. Back to Ortman for 2. Ortman for another 2. A foul there, believe, on Merkley. Ortman goes to the line. Shoots 1, and it's going to be good. Moore with the ball, bringing it up for the Huskies. Moore drives in. He's going to pass it back out to Timmons, and that's going to be intercepted there by Schroeder. Schroeder goes up for the shot. It's going to be no good. Moore drives it down, tosses it up to Saylor. Saylor for the 2, and it's going to be rebounded by Fornia. It's going to be just a little long there. And we can't even see the basket there. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get a good angle and try to get everybody in the shot and run the computer sitting on a chair. So, Ortman with the ball. Ortman looks to drive past Moore, goes up for the long 2. It's going to bounce in and out. Saylor with the rebound over to Timmons. Timmons across the court to Merkley. Merkley drives up over to Fornia. Fornia with the pass to Saylor. Saylor's going to get it in for 2, but then we're going to be fouled. It's going to be no dice there. Huskies to inbound. Saylor with the ball over to Fornia. Fornia back to Saylor. Saylor drives in under the net. It's going to be a long 2 there, or tosses along. Merkley for 3. It's going to be no good. Rebounded there by Fornia. Tossed in for 2. Brought up by Ortman for the Hawks. Ortman to Scott. Scott drives in. Rolls it over to Brown. Brown to Schroeder, or Jetland for the long 3. It's going to be no good. Bounces out. Number 44 checking in for Hawks. Jaden Kleinsasser. As Jetland checks out. Merkley and Moore bringing the ball up. Over to Timmons, back to Moore, back to Merkley. Merkley bounces it over to Fornia. Fornia to Saylor underneath the net. That's going to go bounce out. Moore with the rebound. Merkley for 3. Bounces in and out of the net there. It's going to go to Scott on the rebound. Scott to Ortman. Ortman for the long 2. It's going to bounce off the rim there. Grabs his own rebound, jumps up, blocked there by Timmons and Fournier. It's going to be Hawks ball underneath their net. Number 3, Levi Schroeder to inbound for the Hawks. Schroeder looking for a pass, goes to number 44, Kleinsasser for 2. Huskies trail 4-7 here in this first period. 4:31 remaining. Timmons to Fournier, Fournier to Saylor. Saylor with the 2. And a foul called. Saylor goes to the line to shoot. Ashton Fairbanks checking in for Carson Timmons. Saylor is at the line to shoot 1, I believe. Yep, shot is in and out. Rebounded by Kleinsasser. Brought up the court by Scott. Scott with the ball, over to Ortman. They did give them the 2.6-7 here. 4 minutes remaining in the first period, first quarter. Saylor checking out, and number 20, Grayson Gerard checking in for the Huskies. We need 2 for the Hawks, 3 for the Hawks for 10. Gerard with the ball over to Fairbanks. Fairbanks to Merkley for 3, and that's going to bounce, roll right out there. Rebounded by Scott, driven up the court, and looking for a pass over to, it was Brown. Kleinsasser to Ortman. Ortman goes up for 2 and is fouled. Jetlin checking in for Kleinsasser, for Brown. Ortman goes to the line to shoot 1. And that's going to be good. Merkley brings the ball up the court. Tosses it over to Fairbanks. Fairbanks over to Moore. Moore to Gerard. Gerard with it to Merkley. Merkley with the bounce pass, and it's going to be intercepted there by Schroeder and knocked out. So it's going to be Huskies ball under their net. Merkley to inbound for the Huskies. Fournier with the ball. Fournier over to Gerard. Gerard drives in for 2. Let's get bounce and in. Sorry, folks. This is a weird angle. Ortman with the ball now. Ortman over to Kleinsasser. Tosses it over to Scott. Scott crosses to Schroeder. (13-8) in favor of the Hawks. Moore checking out as Saylor checks back in. Garrett Merkley to inbound for the Huskies, over to Ashton Fairbanks and back to Merkley. Merkley brings it up the court. Merkley to Saylor. Saylor tosses it over to Fournier under the net and rolls that in for 2. 10-13 here. 2 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the first period. Ortman passes it off to Scott. Scott looking for a play. A bounce pass over to, Jetlin. Jetlin goes up. And that's going to be a foul on Merkley. That's his second foul. Team's 4th. Kleinsasser Jetlin goes up for 2. First one's no good. Timmons checking back in. Merkley checking out. Schroeder checking out. And Brown checking back in. Kleinsesser's second one is up and good. Fornia with the ball now, brings it up the court, tosses it over to Saylor. Saylor to Fornia. Fornia goes looking for a shot, bounces over to Fairbanks with a nice layup there under, he was like going backwards, it was pretty cool. Scott with the ball now, tosses it over to Ortman. Ortman drives in, blocked there by Timmons, and 2 is good. Gerard with the ball, drives in under the net, hands it off to Fairbanks. Fairbanks looking for a pass over to Fornia, intercepted there by Brown. Ortman brings it up the court. Ortman over to Brown. Scott. Scott drives in, goes for the long 2, and that's going to be good. Timmons with the ball over to Saylor. Saylor to Gerard, intercepted by Scott. Hands it off to Ortman. Ortman brings it up the court. Ortman drives in for another 2. It's going to be good. 40 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Saylor with the ball. Saylor to Fornia. Fornia to Timmons. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and Fornia takes it up for 2 and is good. Ortman running out the clock, no time remaining on the shot clock, 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Fairbanks applying pressure. Ortman gets around him, shoots, and is no good. Rebounded by Kleinsesser and snagged by Saylor. Fairbanks to Gerard. Oh, and it's going to bounce right out there. That was so close. That'll do it for the first period. We'll take a couple breaks here. You're watching EPJ Boys Basketball, brought to you by Fuller Digital Solutions.
Elk Point native Dr. Devin Penfield and the team at the dentist at Elk Point believe that your family deserves the highest level of dental care in a friendly and relaxing atmosphere. That's why they're happy to provide the community with a low-stress, comfortable dental home. Patients are loving and having the latest technology in a small-town setting. Dr. Penfield and her team enjoy serving such a wonderful community. Schedule your appointment today by calling 605-356-2271.
Back here in Canistota. Huskies trail 14-20 here in the first period. We're gearing up to start the second. Teams are wrapping up. Both teams still with 5 timeouts apiece. Hawks with 2 fouls in the first period, and Huskies with 4 fouls in the first period, and they are resetting the foul scores. Huskies to inbound. It's going to be Luke Schmitz. With the ball, tosses it in, passes it to Moore, back to Luke Schmitz for the shot. This could be no good. Rebounded there by Brown. Brown tosses it over to Ortman. Brown, Scott with the ball. Scott to Schroeder. Schroeder tosses it back to Scott, over to Ortman. Ortman back to Scott. Over to Schroeder. Into Brown. Brown to Scott. Scott to Schroeder. 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And Schroeder goes for a long 3, and it's going to be no good. It's be Huskies ball under the Hawks net, and Saylor inbounds for the Huskies. Passes it off to Moore, drives it up. Moore to Timmons. Timmons to Moore to Fornia, back to Moore, and that's going to be 2 and a foul. And apparently I'm standing in the camera lane. Moore goes to the line, shoots 1, and it is up and good. Ortman with the ball now. Ortman over to Scott. Scott drives in, guarded there by Schmitz. Be no good, rebounded there by Saylor, pass to Timmons, off to Moore. Moore to Timmons. Timmons goes up for 2, and it's going to be fouled. Schmitz and Landon Johnson get a little squirrely there for the rebound. Good hustle. Timmons goes up to shoot 2. First one's up and no good. Timmons' next shot is up and good. 18-20 here in the second period. 6 minutes, 23 seconds remaining as Scott drives the ball up over to Ortman. Ortman with the 2, and it's going to be good. Moore with the ball now, tosses it over to Saylor. Saylor passes it to Schmitz, intercepted by Schroeder, tosses it off to Ortman. Ortman with the ball now, passes it to Scott. Scott to Ortman. Ortman drives in, hooks it over to Brown. Brown to Ortman for 3, it's going to be no good, rebounded by Johnson. Johnson to Saylor, and then tosses it behind Timmons' back, and it's going to go out of bounds. Hawks ball on the corner there. Brown tosses it in. Brown to Ortman. Ortman to Jetland. Jetland back to Ortman. That's going to bounce in for 2. Schmitz with the ball now over to Moore. Moore back to Johnson. Johnson to Schmitz. Schmitz moves in, top of the key there, over to Timmons. Timmons to Moore, 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Moore to Saylor, drives in and up for 2. And a nice play there. Ortman inbounds for the Hawks. Passes it in to Scott, brings it across over to Ortman, into Brown. Brown to Ortman, across the court to Schroeder, back to Brown. Scott, sorry. And Jetland goes up for 2, and that's going to be a foul on Johnson. Jetland goes to the line for 2. First one is up and good. And the second shot for Jetland is up and good. 25. Wait. 25-20 here in the second. Nope, I was right. They were just slow on the scoreboard. 26-20 here in the second period, and that's 22 now. Huskies scored, and Ortman with the ball now. Ortman across the court to Schroeder. Schroeder back to Ortman. Ortman across the court to Scott. Scott goes for a long 3, and it's good. Moore with the ball. Fournier inbounded. Cross down to Fairbanks under the net. Up and good. Nice answer for Fairbanks there. Ortman with the ball. Ortman to Scott. Scott drives in for two. This could be no good. Rebounded there by Saylor and then bopped on the top of the head by Hawk there. Fournier to inbound for the Hawks. Schroeder checking out and Kleinsasser checking in. Fournier inbounds to Moore. Moore brings it up the court. Moore to Fairbanks. Fairbanks over to Saylor. Saylor back to Fairbanks. Fairbanks attempt for the shot. It's going to be knocked out of his hands there and snatched by Brown. Scott to Ortman for a long three. No good. Rebounded by Fournier. Fournier drives it up the court to Moore. Nice trying to save it there and tosses it off to Ortman. Ortman drives in, hooks around, passes it to Kleinsasser over to Scott. Scott drives up, top of the key there, and looking for a pass over to Brown. Brown goes up for the three-point fake out and passes it off to Jetlin for the two, and it's going to be no good. Gets his own shot back and tosses it up there, bounces a couple times and bounces out. And that's going to be a foul. Timeout called by Coach Otkin. We'll take one right along with him and be right back after these messages.
You ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
And we are back, currently sitting at 29-24 here in the second period. 2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the half. Got a few EPJ activities coming up here. Huskies take the court as we come out of the timeout. Schroeder to inbound for the Hawks. Schroeder to Jetlin. Jetlin tosses it off to Scott as the whistle is blown. Saylor checking out as Gerard checks in. Scott with the ball, tosses it off to Ortman. Ortman drives up. Whistle is blown there. I didn't see what happened. I don't know if it was a double dribble or what he did there, but it's Huskies ball and our fans are happy about it. Merkley inbounds to Fournier. Fournier brings the ball up. Fournier attempts for two, and it's going to be a scramble there. Snatched up by Jetlin. Scott with the ball, over to Jetlin for three. It's going to be no good. Gerard on the rebound, drives it up, passes it to Fournier. Fournier to Merkley. Merkley across the court to Moore underneath the net, and that's going to be knocked out of his hands and captured there by Ortman. Ortman with the ball. be in and out, and Gerard with the ball to Moore. Moore goes up for a shot, and that's going to be foul called. Foul is going to be there on number 4, Ortman, as Moore goes to the line to shoot 2. First one is up and good. Ortman checks out as Kleinsasser checks in. Moore's second shot is up and good. Kleinsasser to inbound for the Hawks. Kleinsasser to Brown. Scott. I don't know why I can't get those two straight. Scott with the ball. Scott to Schroeder. Schroeder to Kleinsasser. Back to Scott. Scott drives up, passes it to Jetland, over to Schroeder. Schroeder to Kleinsasser. Back to Brown. Scott, and that is good for 3. It's going to be Hawks ball under the EPJ net. Brown tosses it in for the Hawks, passes it to Schroeder, passes it back to Brown. Scott with the ball now. Scott to Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser to Scott, over to Jetland. Jetland to Schroeder. 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Scott with the ball. Long 2, and it's going to be good. 8 seconds remaining. Lots of commotion on the end, and we got 2 Hawks and a Husky down. Got water on the court. The refs get it cleaned up there. Fairbanks goes to the line to shoot 2. Hawks with 5 fouls now, and Huskies with 3. For 1, sorry. Fairbanks' shot is up and good. Scott with the ball. 1 second remaining, goes for 3, and it's going to roll out of the rim there. And that'll do it for the half. We'll take a few commercial breaks here. Hawks lead 34-29 as the teams go to their respective locker rooms for some words of wisdom. We'll be back here in a few minutes. You're watching EPJ Husky Boys Basketball, brought to you by Fuller Digital Solutions.
Insurance in Beersford, Elk Point, and Sioux Falls has been building relationships since 1944. We want to take care of what matters most to you, protecting your family, farm, business, or vehicles. We work with carriers or companies like Auto Owners Insurance to find you the best coverages and help cut your insurance costs. Visit our website for a complete list of insurance coverage options. You can trust that Jensen Insurance cares about you, just like we have for over 75 years. Visit us at jensenagencyonline.com. Jensen Insurance, your local, independent auto owners insurance agency.
Forget the ramps and hassles when hauling. They are built to tilt. Tilt bed trailers made at Holstein Fabrication and Holstein Manufacturing.
We're excited to now offer one of the best tilt bed trailers on the market, ranging from 22 to 28 feet in length. And like everything we manufacture, these trailers are built to work, last, and make your life easier. Haul with confidence when you hook up to a tilt bed trailer made at Holstein Fabrication and Holstein Manufacturing. Visit us online today at holsteinmfg.com.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL. Never miss out on the action.
Quality care close to home. That's Horizon Healthcare in Elk Point. For immunizations and well child visits to family health, we're right here for all ages with convenient hours and timely appointments. Local care for you and your family makes life easier with less travel, greater personal attention, and overall wellness for life. That's Horizon Healthcare's Elk Point Community Health Center.
Elk Point native Dr. Devin Penfield and the team at the dentist at Elk Point believe that your family deserves the highest level of dental care in a friendly and relaxing atmosphere. That's why they're happy to provide the community with a low-stress, comfortable dental home. Patients are loving and having the latest technology in a small-town setting. Dr. Penfield and her team enjoy serving such a wonderful community. Schedule your appointment today by calling 605-356-2271.
You ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
Every day, life throws its challenges our way. It might be sitting at a desk too long, or picking up the kids, or simply everyday wear and tear. Over time, these moments can misalign our bodies. The doctors at Heartland Chiropractic Associates understand this delicate balance. Their team of experienced chiropractors doesn't just address symptoms, but seeks and finds the root cause. Call and book an appointment today and discover why Heartland Chiropractic Associates has been voted 2 times the best chiropractic clinic in Siouxland.
Insurance in Beersford, Elk Point, and Sioux Falls has been building relationships since 1944. We want to take care of what matters most to you, protecting your family, farm, business, or vehicles. We work with carriers or companies like Auto Owners Insurance to find you the best coverages and help cut your insurance costs. Visit our website for a complete list of insurance coverage options. You can trust that Jensen Insurance cares about you, just like we have for over 75 years. Visit us at jensenagencyonline.com. Jensen Insurance, your local, independent auto owners insurance agency.
Forget the ramps and hassles when hauling. They are built to tilt. Tilt bed trailers made at Holstein Fabrication and Holstein Manufacturing.
We're excited to now offer one of the best tilt bed trailers on the market, ranging from 22 to 28 feet in length. And like everything we manufacture, these trailers are built to work, last, and make your life easier. Haul with confidence when you hook up to a tilt bed trailer made at Holstein Fabrication and Holstein Manufacturing. Visit us online today at holsteinmfg.com.
Welcome back, Husky fans. We're gearing up to start the third quarter here in Canistota. Hawks lead 34-29. We will be back with more Husky athletic action here on Fuller Digital Solutions on Thursday, the 4th, in Marion Freeman for the wrestling triangular. Schroeder with the ball, tosses it over to Ortman. Ortman to Scott. Foul called on the Hawks. Merkley to inbound for EPJ. Merkley inbounds into Timmons, back to Merkley. Merkley to Saylor. Saylor goes up for 2, and it's going to roll out, and then Fornia and Jetland get tangled up there. Ortman drives up the court and goes up for 2. Be bounced out there. And Jetland goes to the line to shoot. 2. Jetland's first one is up and good. Jetland's second one is up and good as well. Saylor inbounds for the Huskies into Moore. Moore brings it up. Tosses it over to Merkley. Merkley drives in, top of the key, passes it over to Saylor. Saylor drives in, and is blocked there. Tosses it over to Timmons. Timmons drives in. Goes up for two, and that's going to bounce in and out. Schroeder on the rebound. Schroeder tosses it over to Scott. Scott with the long pass to Ortman. Ortman slows things down, lets everybody get set up, and he's going to lose the ball and regain it again, and then that is a push on Moore. And then they're going to call foul on EPJ. Schroeder to inbound for Canistota. Schroeder, pass to Jetlin. Jetlin drives up underneath the net, and it's going to bounce out. And Fournier on the rebound. Fournier drives it up the court, and he's going to go for two. And that's in and good. Scott inbounds for the Hawks. Tosses it over to Ortman. Ortman tripped up there by a host of Huskies. Goes up for two. It's going to be no good. Scramble there under the net, and that's going to be recovered by Schroeder. Passes it over to Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser bounces it over to Ortman. Ortman drives in and goes up for two. It's going to be no good on the jump shot there. Knocked loose by Fournier. Schroeder goes to inbound for Hawks. Gerard checking in for Caden Moore. Ortman tosses it over to Jetlin. Blocked there by Fournier. Tossed off to Ortman. Ortman to Scott. Scott looking to call a play here. Scott passes it off to Ortman. Ortman goes up for two, bounces out. Rebounded by Garrett Merkley. Merkley to Timmons. Timmons back to Merkley. Merkley over to Saylor. Saylor to Fournier. Fournier to Gerard. Gerard turns around for the spin shot there, and it's going to be no good. Bounces out and goes to the line for I wish they'd give me a signal. Sometimes they do. For two, first one is up and good. Second shot from Gerard's is up and good. 31-36 here in the third period. 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter of boys basketball. Girls are playing this evening in Elk Point. I have no updates on the score for you there. Schroeder passes it over to Scott. Scott goes up for a long two. It's going to be no good. Bounced in by Ortman and bounces back out. Timeout called by the Hawks. Will take one right along with them. You're watching boys basketball, brought to you by Fuller Digital Solutions.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101. Never miss out on the action.
And we're back. Hawks lead the Huskies 36-33. I missed a two-pointer there. My apologies. 36-33. Both teams with 4 timeouts left and 2 fouls apiece in this third quarter. We will be back with more basketball action on Friday at home as both the boys and the girls take on Del Rapids Couriers. Schroeder to inbound for the Hawks. The whistle blown there. Took too long to inbound, so it's going to be Huskies' turn. Merkley inbounds to Gerard. Tosses it back to Merkley. Merkley drives in, passes it to Timmons. Timmons back to Merkley. Merkley's spinning around, looking for a move. Fournier under the net, goes up for 2. And the whistle blown, so it's no good. Ortman to Scott. Scott with the ball, tosses it over to Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser blocked there by Saylor, over to Schroeder. Schroeder back to Ortman. Ortman to Scott. Scott being guarded there by Merkley. Back out to Kleinsasser, back to Scott. 11 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Ortman tosses it over to Jetland for 2. Merkley brings the ball up, tosses it over to Timmons. Timmons with bounce pass to Saylor. Saylor tosses it up and over to Fournier. Fournier being guarded there by Jetland. Jetland with the rebound, tosses it over to Scott. Scott recovers over to Ortman. Ortman drives into the basket. This is going to be no good. Foul called on Gerard. No, foul called on Saylor. Ashton Fairbanks checking in for Timmons. Schroeder to inbound for the Hawks. Schroeder to Jetland. Jetland with the bounce pass to Ortman. Ortman. Long 2, it's going to bounce out, no good. Fournier on the rebound. Fournier to Fairbanks, across the court. Fairbanks drives in under the net. That's good for 2. 35-38. Ortman inbounds over to Scott. Scott back to Ortman. Brings it up the court. Foul called on Gerard. Ortman inbounds for the Hawks over to Scott. Scott driving up. Over to Schroeder. Schroeder brings it in. Pass, looking for a pass over to Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser with the bounce over to Ortman. Ortman for a long 3, and that's going to be good. 41-35. And Ortman goes out of bounds there. Huskies ball. Merkley to inbound to Moore. Moore brings it up the court. Tosses it off to Fairbanks. Fairbanks back to Moore, knocked loose there by Ortman, recovered by Fournier. Fournier to Gerard. Gerard drives up for 2. It's going to be no good after the whistle there. Hawks ball on the sideline. Kleinsasser to inbound. Tosses it across to Scott. Scott brings it up. Looking for a pass out to Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser recovers to Ortman. Ortman looking for a hole, and it's going to be tripped up there by Fournier. Hawks ball. Going to the line to shoot 2. Ortman. Ortman's first shot is up and good. Ortman's second shot is up and good. 43-35 here in the third period. Ashton Fairbanks brings the ball up. Fairbanks to Merkley. Merkley looking for a pass to Fairbanks. Fairbanks bounce pass to Fournier. It's going to be Huskies ball there. Merkley to inbound for the Huskies. Merkley to Fournier. Fournier goes for long two, and it's going to be no good there. Caught by Ortman. Ortman drives up the court. Ortman for three. Roll out. And up and rebounded by Timmons. Passed off to Fairbanks. Drives it up the court. Fairbanks to Fournier. Fournier under the net there. It's going to go to the line for two. Foul called on number 4, Ortman. Fournier goes to the line to shoot two. First one bounces off the rim. It's no good. Evans' second shot is up, and that's going to bounce out. Jetland on the rebound. Tosses it over to Scott. Scott with the ball, tosses it over to Ortman. Ortman looking to make a jump shot there for two, and it's good. Gerard with the ball, tosses it up to Timmons as the Huskies hustle down the court. Timmons to Fournier. Fournier out to Gerard for three. It's going to be no good. Ortman with the ball. Slows things down. 28 seconds left on the shot clock. 42 seconds left in the quarter. Scott with the ball. Scott to Ortman. Ten seconds remaining on the shot clock. Ortman behind the board. Tosses for Fairbanks with the long pass to Timmons, and that's going to go a little long there. And that'll do it for the shot clock. 16.6 seconds remaining as Gerard checks out and Schmitz checks in. Jake Merrill checks in for the first time. Scott with the ball, 7 seconds remaining. Scott with the two, and a travel. Merkley tosses it in. Fournier for the long three, and that's going to be no good. That'll do it for the third quarter. We will be right back after these messages. You're watching EPJ Boys Basketball, brought to you by Fuller Digital Solutions.
Quality care close to home. That's Horizon Healthcare in Elk Point. For immunizations and well-child visits to family health, we're right here for all ages with convenient hours and timely appointments. Local care for you and your family makes life easier with less travel, greater personal attention, and overall wellness for life. That's Horizon Healthcare's Elk Point Community Health Center.
And we are back. Hawks lead the Huskies 45-35 here as we get started in the fourth and final quarter. Each team with 4 timeouts left. As Coach Newhart always says, can't take them with you. So we'll see if we use them all up before the end of this quarter. Garrett Merkley to inbound over to Reed Saylor. Saylor with the ball. Bounce passes to Merkley. Tosses it over to Schmitz. Schmitz to Fournier. Fournier to Merkley. Merkley with the long three, and that's good. Scott with the ball, drives it up the court, and slows things down a little bit here. Drives in for two. It's going to be no good. Snatched there by Schmitz. Schmitz to Timmons. Timmons to Merkley. Merkley to Saylor. Saylor with the long three, and it's in and out. Schmitz on the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession's going to go to the Huskies. Reed Saylor to inbound for EPJ. Saylor to Fournier. Fournier out to Timmons. Timmons to Merkley. Merkley to Saylor. Saylor drives in under the net there. Spin shot, and it's going to be no good. Schroeder on the rebound. Scott with the ball now. Scott looking to drive in and looking for a pass. Schroeder up the top of the key over to Ortman. Ortman with the long pass over to Scott. Scott to Schroeder. Schroeder bounces it in to Jetlin, who goes up. It's going to be no good. Whistle blown. Jetlin's going to go to the line to shoot. Two. First shot is up and good. Schroeder checking out as Merrill, I believe. Nope, Brown checks in. Second one is up and good. Fournier to inbound for the Huskies. Merkley tosses it over to Reed. Saylor with the ball. Backs it in and over to Timmons. Timmons looking for a pass. Bounces it over to Schmitz, and then we got a doggy pile. Jump ball. Caden Moore checking in for Carson Timmons. Brown to inbound for the Hawks. Ortman with the ball now. Ortman drives in. Hawks ball. Brown to inbound for Canistota. Brown looking for a long pass. Knocked loose there by Moore. Recovered by Brown. Brown to Scott. Scott with the bounce pass to Jetland. Jetland looking for a play. Passes it across to Brown. Brown to Ortman. Back to Brown. Back to Ortman. Over to Scott. Scott looking for a two now. Passes it over to Jetland for two. Little trick play. Merkley to Saylor. Saylor drives in for a two in return. Ortman with the ball now. Drives up the court. Guarded there by Merkley. Blocked by Saylor and Fournier. And it's going to be Hawks ball. Schroeder to inbound. Canistota over to Jetlin. Jetlin brings it out. Passes it to Ortman. Ortman to Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser to inbound for the Hawks. Over to Ortman. Seven seconds remaining on the shot clock. Fairbanks on the recovery. Passes it off to Merkley. Merkley to Fournier. Fournier for two, and be no good. Rebounded there by Jetland. Over to Ortman. Back to Scott. Scott to Ortman. Ortman drives in. That looked like a travel to me. No call there. Fournier to Fairbanks. Fairbanks goes up for two. It's going to be good. Timeout called. We'll be taking one right along with them and be back after these messages.
Elk Point native Dr. Devin Penfield and the team at the dentist at Elk Point believe that your family deserves the highest level of dental care in a friendly and relaxing atmosphere. That's why they're happy to provide the community with a low-stress, comfortable dental home. Patients are loving and having the latest technology in a small-town setting. Dr. Penfield and her team enjoy serving such a wonderful community. Schedule your appointment today by calling 605-356-2271.
And we are back. Huskies trail 42-49 here in the fourth and final quarter of this Hawks and Huskies matchup in Canistota. 4 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in this boys basketball matchup. It's going to be Hawks possession. Schroeder to inbound for Canistota. Schroeder to Ortman, intercepted there by Merkley as he's looking to pass it out, and it's going to go out of bounds, so it's going to be, oh, it is Huskies ball. I thought it must have been tipped by a Hawk. So Merkley to inbound now, over to Fournier. Fournier to Fairbanks. Fairbanks passes it over to Merkley. Drives in, passes it across to Fournier for two, and that's going to be good. 44-49, Ortman with the ball. Ortman drives up the court. Ortman to Jetland, goes up for two and bounces out. Fournier with the rebound. Fournier to Fairbanks, no call, and there are some upset fans in here. Whoa! Fairbanks drove into that Hawk. That's going to go in the Hawks' favor. Schmitz checking out. Schroeder to inbound for the Hawks. Going to take too long, and that was going to be a Hawks timeout called by Coach Jolly there. We'll take one along with them and be back after these messages.
You ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
And we are back. .44 here. Scott inbounds for Scott inbounds for the Hawks, over to Ortman, back to Scott. Scott back to Ortman. Ortman to Jetland, tipped back out of his reach there by Fournier. It's going to be Hawks ball underneath their net. Schroeder to inbound for Canistota. Scott with the ball under the net, tosses it back out to Ortman. Ortman to Jetland, and that's going to be in for two. Merkley with the ball now, over to Fairbanks. Fairbanks drives in, passes it out to Gerard. Gerard looking to make a play. Gerard out to Moore. Moore drives in, passes it to Fournier. It's going to hit Jetland in the face there. Got some blood here. Brown to inbound for the Hawks. Brown to Scott, Scott to Ortman. Ortman with the ball now, driving in under the net. And that's a spin out there. Foul called. Ortman goes to the line for 2. Ortman's first one is up and no good. Jetland checking back in. Schroeder checking out. Ortman's second shot is up and no good. Rebounded there by Moore. Moore drives it up the court, tosses it to Gerard. Gerard over to Merkley. Merkley looking for a play. Fournier back to Merkley. Merkley for 3. It's going to be just shy. Schroeder checking back in for the Hawks as Kleinsasser checks out. Scott inbounding for the Hawks, so passes it over to Schroeder. Schroeder took the pass, toss, and knocked loose there by Moore, recovered by Schroeder. Ortman with the ball now. Ortman driving in, foul called on Gerard. Ortman goes to the line to shoot 2. First one is up and good. Second one is up and no good. Rebounded there by Fairbanks. Fairbanks with the ball. Hounds passes, and it's going to be intercepted by the Hawks. Scott passes it over to Ortman. Ortman drives it up the court. Huskies get in position. Timeout called by Coach Jolly. We'll take one along with him, and we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. We want to thank everyone that brings this and makes it possible for us to bring you this live coverage. We'll be back after this.
Today.
And we are back. Two minutes remaining in this final quarter. Scott with the ball. Scott looking for a pass. Merkley and Moore applying pressure. Ortman with the ball now. Ortman looking to make a move. 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Scott with the ball, then to Ortman. Ortman for 2. Timmons with the ball now. Timmons to Merkley. Merkley to Fournier. Fournier tries to drive in. Passes off to Timmons. Tipped there by a Hawk. And it's going to go out of bounds on the Huskies. Canistota's ball under EPJ's net. Scott to inbound for the Huskies. Long pass over to Ortman for 2. Merkley and Timmons bring the ball up the court. Fournier into Moore. It's going to be a push there, and Huskies ball. Saylor to inbound. Saylor to Fournier. Fournier over to Timmons. Timmons goes up for 2, and it's going to bounce out. Ortman on the rebound. Timmons and Merkley applying pressure. Ortman driving all around the court. Ortman to Scott. 58 seconds remaining in this half. Ortman looking for a pass, intercepted by Fournier. Fournier takes it down the court, over to Moore. Moore goes with the pass, and it's going to be knocked loose and out of bounds on the Huskies. Hawks ball, 56-44 here in the fourth and final quarter. Huskies inbound. Fournier with the shot, and it's going to be no good. Schroeder with the ball over to Ortman. Ortman drives it up the court. Ortman to Scott. Scott to Ortman. Trip up there. 24 seconds remaining. Ortman go to the line to shoot 2. Ortman's first shot is up and no good. Timeout called by Coach Jolly. We'll take one along with him and be back after these messages. We are back. 24.7 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. 56-44 in favor of the Canistota Hawks. Ortman goes to the line for a second foul shot. It's up and good. Saylor to inbound for the Huskies. Rolls it on over to Merkley. Merkley to Fournier for 3. It's going to be long. Schroeder on the rebound. Knocked loose there by Saylor. Recovered by Scott. Scott to Kleinsasser. And that is going to do it here for the Huskies. Congratulations to the Hawks. We will see Husky wrestling action in Freeman on Thursday for their triangular. And we will be back on Friday with the Huskies taking on Oh, wait, hang on. I think maybe I messed up. No, there is no game on Friday. It's on Saturday at 2 against Del Rapids. That'll be the C team tipping off at 2, and we'll see you in the evening for varsity boys and girls basketball action on Saturday. Wrestling on Thursday, and then the following Friday, the 12th, we will be in Ponca as the boys and girls take on, I believe, the Ponca Indians. And that'll do it for me this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you on Thursday in Marion Freeman, and you have a good evening. Remember, school starts tomorrow. Back in the new year. Happy New Year, and I hope everybody's 2024 is shaping up to be great. That will be it for me, and we'll see you next time.